Year. Happy New Year. Okay. I saw this. Life is like looking for your phone. Most of the time it's in your hand.
That's good.
I'll never forget there was a time a few years back. I'm late for something. Are you guys surprised at that? I'm late for something and I'm talking to somebody on the phone and I'm like, shit, I cannot find my phone. I go, where? And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? I just lost my mind. I'm so embarrassed. I was born my see, I'm embarrassed again all over again. But right, a lot of times things are just right there. We already have everything that we need. We already have everything that is everything's at our fingertips. It's a matter of recognizing it. It's almost like what's that saying? You can't see the forest through the trees or something like that. Is that how that saying goes? Yeah. Right? So just sometimes it's just right there in front of you.
Or you're cutting down the forest, but you're cutting down the wrong forest.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So you're working, you're cutting down the trees in the forest, but you're just chopping in the wrong forest.
Oh, yep. Yep, for sure. So life is like looking for your phone. Most of the time it's in your hands. So I thought, I was like, okay, what national day is today? So National Belly Laugh Day. On Belly Laugh Day, we have a good, deep laugh. Laughter has been known to cause the tissue lining our blood vessels to expand, increase blood flow. So this makes you feel more positive, boost your immune systems, and you will feel generally happier. So whenever you have the opportunity, just laugh. I know Alejandra, where's Alejandra? But anyway, I had a meeting with Eddie last night, right? And he and I were laughing hysterically because if we weren't laughing hysterically, we might have been crying, right? So it's just like we have to see no matter what's being thrown our way or whatever, whatever market that we're in, whatever life things that are being thrown your way, like I said, just find the humor in it, right? One, it makes you feel better. Because remember, we have a choice as how we want to feel. We can feel like crap, or we can be ecstatic and be happy and be grateful, right? It's all a decision. So when you are feeling like, put on a podcast, put on, some comedy. I love like Dave Cook, right? He's hysterical. So you may have a favorite go-to, right? But just ease the mind and not take life so seriously. Just have a good time. Just like Rich, we'll get to his installation. Here he is getting ready to be installed as president of SRAR. Right, go here, hold on a second. Yeah.
Hey.
That, and then I went and took a piece of paper to him and said, Rich, before you get started, can you sign this, please? And he's like, really? Right now? I'm like, yeah, I don't see you, so you gotta do it right now before you get started. It was quite comical. I don't know if you thought so at that moment, but it was all good.
Just Dominic's little brother. Let's be honest.
So I know I told Rich yesterday, I'm like, Rich, your brother's so cool. And he's like, I know, I hear that all the time. So we just wanted to wish you, massive congratulations. It was the best installation that I've ever been to, and I'm just beyond proud of you and just honored to be in business with you and be able to share this part of our journey together. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you that were there. Thank you so much. And my brother's cheering section.
Oh, that's awesome. So we can go ahead and just we'll segue you into our broker moment with President Rich Pisani.
Thank you. Unfortunately, not so great news. If you haven't heard, it's being more and more evident that LA City and now LA County are extending the eviction moratorium. And it's so convoluted that we're still trying to figure out exactly what the rules are gonna be. So stay tuned for that, but that's unfortunate news. I don't even know how long they're talking about extending it, so but it does look like that's definitely gonna happen. The other thing is, I'll just tell you, tomorrow, my class tomorrow will be on statutory disclosures. Those disclosures that absolutely are required by law. So we'll go over that tomorrow at 4. And that's it.
That's it? All
That's
right.
it.
That's all he wrote. Okay, thank you, Rich. So let me go back.
Judd, is your class Stephanie tomorrow?
Is it
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Zoom and yeah. Okay, just wanted to quickly welcome to the KW Calabasas family. Louisa, it's Luz, Luz. Always want to make sure. Luz, Sean, Roscoe, Sammy, right there, Sammy, Kate, and Maxie is back. No one's been for very long. So welcome to more world-class talent. So super excited about that. Again, congratulations to Rich Pisani. And then now we again just want to thank our sponsor and breakfast amazing extraordinaire, right? Danielle Goodwin.
Give me your card, that would be great. Have you ever lost something that means so much to you? I don't know about you, but I lost $1,500 in one big swoop when Mother Nature decided to take me out. And she didn't even buy me a drink first. I'm having the best time of my life, taking a selfie of the ocean. The next thing you know, I'm wiped out. And in that moment, I lost my phone. And like Stephanie was saying, your whole life is in that phone. Your business contacts, my kids' phone numbers that I haven't committed to memory, my selfies, everything is in there. And in that moment, I had a panic attack. And then I realized everything is backed up to the cloud.
Oh, yeah.
I got insurance when I got that expensive phone. And you know what? A home warranty can be that added sense of security to your clients when you are going through that transaction, because it's a big, scary thing, and they put everything, their trust and love into you. And it's a way to show them that you love and trust them. Our product is an amazing product. We have seller's coverage for when you're going through when it's on the listing. It's going to set you apart from your competition when you can put a sign out there that said this home is protected by an Old Republic home warranty. I love my company because we're people who are helping people, and it's truly what we do. I take my level of service and I love to serve and help people. That's my heart. I also love to cook, so I hope you get to enjoy that today. I look forward. I got to work with many of you. I can't wait to work with all of you. And if you could put your card in my basket, I'm going to be drawing I've got some raffle prizes, which is always fun and it makes you laugh. We have an amazing toolbox that's free to you. Inside is materials that can help you with your business. There's door knockers, there's calendars, there's a monthly newsletter that you can put and customize to you to send out to keep that personal touch to your clients. And all I can say is when you work with me, you're going to have a lot of fun because I only choose joy in those moments when your client's calling you and they are so upset. I love to get on the phone to help bring a resolution to the problem. So go ahead and put your cards in and then we'll draw a card. I want everyone in the office to do it. And I just want to say thank you so much to Stephanie for having me today. I love this office. I love the culture of this office. Every time I get to spend time with you, I get to make a special connection. And I really, really value that. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Were you going on anything else?
Nope, I'm just gonna do the raffle at the end when it's
Okay.
But there's also a lesson to be learned here. Never turn your back on the ocean.
Oh,
She'll always win. Yeah, selfie out the water.
Yeah, it's not here. Got to. Great job.
Lesson, all of us got lesson.
On their house for one, I think they'll just put on overview if they want.
Yes, it's a great
Okay.
question. You don't have to go through a retail transaction to have a warranty in place. It's just gonna be a 30-day grace period, and all the systems in the home need to be working because you can't insert the cord, okay? So if you just, yep. Okay, great. So everyone who has a home can have a party.
Can I do one more like plug for you like, hopefully it helps everyone. Everyone that gets a listing and we kind of dictate, let's call it as we dictate escrow, we dictate title, different things. Plug in home warranty. We've never had, at least so far with us, we've never had a challenge where they didn't honor a claim that was already covered with the crest plan and adding on other details that our clients tell us, hey, this could be a problem. Well, let's just get it warranted while we're listed and after we put this all together. Number two, if you guys understand the stat from Bold and from NAR, it's that 80% of people who go out to buy more real estate or resell their home would have done it with the agent that helped them buy that house. But because that agent, abandoned them, stopped calling them, stopped staying in touch, they go and find another realtor. Well, anytime our buyers that we didn't represent call in on that home that we sold, we get an update from Old Republic that, hey, so-and-so has, called in and they have $3,000 worth of repairs, right? They only paid $150, 3 service calls, whatever, to make this work, 2 service calls to equal that. Well, now we have an opportunity to call or reach out to that client, send them a letter, a thank you note. Hey, just wanted to tell you, thank you for using the Old Republic Home Warranty Services. If you have any questions, we may also love to be a real estate connector to help out with those items. So we might not have an email address or a phone number. We can probably pull it from Land Voice or Title, but then you can go back and now establish that relationship with that likely 80% chance that they were abandoned. And now you're going to be their top of mind realtor. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, just one.
You're just, yeah.
I like that.
It's a gold call, man. $20,000 right there.
Okay, so there's 2 things I wanna plug before we get into the economic update. I think most of you guys and gals know that we have a morning mindset Monday through Friday from 8 to 8:30. Right? We have our core group. We, got this started back in March of 2020 and we've kept it going, right? It keeps the bumper pads on. We bring in, systems and models as well, but really the mindset behind it. And I'm actually always amazed how few people are on it. And I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of it. Again, Monday through Friday, you're just like, I don't need mindset. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Each and every one of us needs to have that positivity around us, needs to have, because sometimes you just never know when you might hear that one little thing that can change the trajectory of your day or your morning. Right? So really we have, Sonia does it Mondays, Philip does it Tuesdays, I do it Wednesdays, and then we just have surprises on Thursdays and Fridays. So really, it's just a lot of great information and it just doesn't feel good. I just welcome you and challenge you guys just to pop on.
I don't know if mine's too big. I can't see people's faces, so everyone's
Uh,
I don't know.
Yeah, but we've had so many testimonials from agents stating that it's really changed their business. It's changed who they are because of our morning mindsets. I know, Roger, you have something that you listen to, but at the same time, that's the same concept, right? That just really gets you in because we have our miracle mornings, all that kind of stuff, but do you guys ever have a morning where you're like, yeah, I don't know. Carolyn, no. Go ahead.
That timing, is it okay just to listen, cause I'm driving Belgium?
Totally.
It's not like an interactive thing.
It's
Just listen.
yes and yes. So, yes, can you just listen in, not turn your video on, you can do it all day long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is it interactive? Yes. If people choose to, they don't have to,
Oh, okay.
right? But it's just an experience. A lot of times people are taking their kids to school or what have you. or maybe getting ready in the bathroom, you know, whatever, right? There is just really, Christine Wheeler. See, she can't pop
But I
up.
couldn't find the button. I couldn't find the button.
You've been on, Christine Wheeler has been on Morning Mindset when we got the decision in March of 2020. She's been part of the core crew every single day, right? And what would you share with them about Morning Mindset?
My voice is froggy this morning, so apologize. Well, first of all, I want to say, you guys all saw me, especially in the beginning with COVID. I was crying almost every time because it was such a lifeline for all of us to be together. So like, that's the emotional thing about it, but it's so uplifting. It's centering for your day. The other thing I was going to say about it too, is we really want people on there. And what's really important is the interaction with your cameras on, even though today I didn't have it on, but for Morning Mindset, especially because, so we get up and our hair's messy or whatever, and we're having our cup of coffee. It's not the point. The point is having that conversation and, you know, being there for one another. So that's my coffee moment.
Thank you.
I would like to throw in, because I always hear it from where I sit, and they're always good, but sometimes they're really great, and they just pull me in, and I have to come and listen. Like last week, this week, whatever it was with Philip, just recently, so really good.
Yeah. And that, like I said, you just never know when it's going to be something that you can hear, right? And two is we're going through whatever craziness, right, that happens. It's a time to be engaging. It's a time to learn from one another, right? And be supportive of one another and just making life happen, making your goals happen, making whatever happen, because everyone in here is such a huge contributor to the culture of our office. So I just really welcome you to be on Morning Mindset, because it just really is, I absolutely love it. So anyway, and then my other fun announcement is we have the Super Bowl squares. So yeah, I know we don't know yet who's gonna be in the Super Bowl. Go Niners.
49ers.
Right, so, but it's $5 a square, so make sure that you see Tammy, I have the Sharpie, and start filling out your squares and all that kind of stuff. And if any of you won't come to the office, let us know, we can plug in squares for you. So we had that last year and we'll have it this year as well, and Super Bowl is February 12th. Okay. Any questions, thoughts, comments?
We could do a drawing real quick if you want.
Thank you, Monique.
Want to pick a card?
Okay. Oh, I can't look, it's on here.
Yeah, I know. Don't look.
Where,
It's right in here.
oh, there
Anyway.
it goes.
Oh, yay! Maureen. Now you can pick the next one. Oh. $25 gift card. And yay for Jocelyn!
So awesome. Okay, awesome. So let's get down and dirty with some statistics. So remember, it's our job to be the real estate professional of choice, the economist, so on and so forth. So we can let people, because we can't, one of the quotes, I love that. Oh shit,
Gary Keller.
no. Mark King and
Oh, and Jason.
God. Jason. I was like, okay, that was one drink too many right there, I guess. Right, killed that brain cell. So Jason, the quote that he says all the time, he goes, it's all math. It's all math. You guys can never argue with the numbers. So those of you that don't grasp numbers that well, don't want to track your numbers or whatever the case may be, steal these from us, right? These, you can't get away with this. I had some of my friends are listing their house, was there on Sunday night and yesterday. So I shared these slides with them. And this guy's, a big deal. He's all in the statistics. He's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Right. Some stuff that he, that he already knew. But what's interesting is look at here. So here is when we the market took a dump right before, and now here it's mirrors it quite similarly, right? To when we had our stuff happen in 06 regarding number of sales, right? Number of sales. So back in 06, 07, 08, right? The total sales were down 1.5 million. Right now here in, 21, 22, et cetera, our sales are down 1.2, projecting 1.2 million. And what that means, right? Obviously less sales, it was just generated differently. Okay, the cool thing is that currently we're not leveraged to the hilt like we were before,
Oh, yeah.
right? We're not leveraged on that, but it's interesting because, we did a drop of 22% off to 2021 high in 20 that they're projecting in 2023. So basically the net effect is the same, right? Because of the interest rates, right? Because of the interest rates and obviously inventory.
It'll be interesting to see how we continue that bar. I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at HUD, they're saying that, hey, we expect 3.6 million sales for 23. If you talk to Gary, it's 4.1 million. So we're expecting unit sales to be lower than what we did last year as we pivoted into with higher rates. But if you look at 2006, 7, 8, where you see that drop, what caused that incredible real estate opportunity were, let's call it predatory loans, or loans that you can just fog up a mirror and buy real estate. And then of course, the cause of that drop were those exact same loans, right? And practices. Now, when we look at our increase the last couple of years, we've done really well with the lowered interest rate, and that boosted everything that we're doing. And that same interest rate is our downfall, right? Interest rates tripled, right? From 2 to 6, or whatever they went up to. And now units are going down. But think about this, guys, 4 million sales. If I were to ask you how many homes do you want to sell next year, and you tell me 10 or 20 or 50 or 100, does 100 fit into 4 million? Absolutely. So now it's just a matter of where are we putting our focus? Are we putting our focus on the 2 million sales that are potentially gone that we weren't closing anyway? Or we're going to put our mindset on the 20 that we're going to close within the 4 million that are available to us, right? Whether referral or otherwise, we still get that business. But that's the flip. And then the last thing that Stephanie hit on, that big dip over there was, if you think about 08, 09, 10, that's when we were making all those changes. It was very tight on the money. Everyone that made money were the banks. Wells Fargo made a killing, while everyone else is trying to figure out how to go about life, and do we rent, do we not? And the economic situation is very different. Back then, it was actually made a ton more sense to rent than it was to buy. Now, even with even with interest rates at 7%, it still makes sense in some neighborhoods and some market spaces to buy a house, eat it, and then pay yourself and let your property appreciate 4% a year while you pay down your
Wait a year or two.
and get 8% growth on your property, or 4% a year growth on your property while you pay down that mortgage.
Yeah.
Property appreciates at 4% a year, right? I mean, I could be totally mistaken, but
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's
Thank you.
Another, unintended consequence of 08, 09, we also saw the labor market and labor participation rate and unemployment was through the roof versus this time. Hopefully we'll see in the next couple weeks what that looks like.
Right.
But as you all mentioned, overall in the United States, we have a healthy loan to value as compared to last time. There's a ton of equity. Rates are still at historic lows. It's a mindset thing.
Yep.
And as long as we have a healthy labor market, we'll be good to tell the story. So we'll see what that looks like down in the future. But I think 2023 is going to be a solid year, obviously not like the unicorn years of 2020, 21, but definitely the getting's good, and these numbers help you all tell the story, and the story never lies as long as math sits at the center of it. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
great numbers.
Thank you, Ben. Okay, I have
Also,
to-
just to jump in here quickly, Steph.
Yeah.
This morning, Philip brought up a good point that a lot of realtors have not renewed their licenses. A lot of them are getting out. So what does that mean? That means push forward and we get more market share because we can pick up that space that they left.
Yeah,
When the
absolutely.
market goes back to that 5 to 6 to 7 million amount of sales. Yeah, guess who has that part space, that part share, that mind share, that mind space? That'll be you guys, that'll be us. Us picking up the broken pieces as we keep crushing life.
Yeah, and then two, what I would like to point out as well is this is something that you guys should be consistently doing regardless of what the market is. Right? Because a lot of times, like I was talking to a Malibu agent this morning, and it's like, oh, I'm going back to basics. Well, you should have always been in basics.
Did you tell her that or tell us that?
No.
No.
Keep going.
I'm just like, yeah, he doesn't have to get to real me yet. Does anybody have a black Range Rover that's parked somewhere where they're not supposed to be, licensed, Ron MVP? It could be LeBron over
Could be
me.
LeBron James.
I mean,
You didn't see your thoughts.
And he can park anywhere.
So anyway, no, not when it's parked in the CEO of Marcus and Millichap. He will. He will. Yeah, does anybody know when we were Michael Cochette and Lee Black and I were at the airport leaving to go to Austin, and we get a phone call from Hillary, and she goes, Lee flipping parked in the CEO's Marcus and Millichap's parking spot.
Oh, no.
Well, one, it just says big sign says reserved. I don't know, it gives you a clue.
It's reserved for
So-
Lee Black.
I'm like, Lee, are you serious? Anyway, I digress. Okay, so, but yeah, so always stay in the basics. Yeah, you can have your needs, you can have whatever, but it's relationship building. It's being in contact with your database continually. Don't just all of a sudden go there with your database because your business has died down. It's something that you do all the time, right? We have the 33 touch program, we have the 8x8 program, we have all these different systems in place. Remember, whatever number is in your database, you can get 6% return on whatever number in your database, right? So just stay consistent with the basics and then you can add fluff to that. But yeah, so over the last 3 years, there's a 38% increase in home prices over the last 3 years. That's huge. That's huge, right? And then we had the fastest percentage of interest rate hike in history. Right? So just understand that. And then as you can tell here, right, there was a 1.5 decrease, 1.5 million decrease in just 1 year in home sales. But that's all good, right? So then it's just a matter of just keep doing what you're doing. Oops, you guys are like, what is this crap about?
Oh,
Home sales monthly. Right, so, let me move this down a little bit too. Oops. Oh, I can hide it. Can I hide it? Kind of? Whatever. So this is 2022, 21, and 2020. Right, and we were complaining that we had no inventory, but look at all the sales that we had. We just didn't have any inventory because everything was selling. Right, so it's just it's slowly but surely going down. We go to the next one. This is home prices annually, right? Home prices annually. Like I said, it went up, it's gone up 38% increase over the last 3 years. So,
If you look at the yellow line, it's the 4% average increase over that time. And if you look at 21 to 22, you see that we've exceeded that 4% line. So that's our adjustment. When people say, well, I'm waiting for the market to crash. Well, keep waiting. You're just gonna wait and our clients and us will buy more homes, right? So you might see an adjustment if we're 12.5% over that line, then you can expect that there will be some sort of adjustment. Now, localize it to your area. Some markets are affected differently than others. You might live in a pocket where prices have gone up because you only get one home a year that goes for sale in that community, right? So you got to kind of know your hyper local market or your clients or if you're going to temporarily know an area like Inglewood for a period of time, then just look and see where that 4% line would be versus where the peak price is and where it's trending down to.
Yeah, and if you memorize these 3 stats, average, if you memorize the turnover rate in your farm, the number of units in your farm, the average stay year in that farm, the average sales price in the last 90 days, you could be able to combat a no and be able to tell an accurate dynamic story of that particular farm and use data like this to weave it in. Because it, like Philip mentioned, it isn't nationwide. Every neighborhood tells its own story, and those statistics are the lifeline of that neighborhood and will tell that story and help us.
Turnover
So
rate.
the first stat would be the turnover rate. The second stat would be the number of units in that farm. The third would be the average stay year in that farm. And the fourth would be.
Sorry, what did the turnover rate average see?
So a turnover rate takes the number of full value transfers in the past 12 months in relation to the number of homes in that farm. The average stay year is how long does the average homeowner who buys here stay and live here? And that all helps tell the story of the farm. And lastly, you want to be using, the most accurate data when it comes to average sales price. So I say use the last 90 days, and those stats, you can have any conversation at any time and be able to speak specifically to that farm area while using data like this. So.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely. I remember Ben's with Fidelity and he can help you with that. Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, because they're all about the numbers all day long, right? Like, hey, what's going on? How many title order? I mean, because they can predict, they get to know really what's happening in the market before we do,
Oh, yeah.
because they can tell. So if your escrow company or your title officer can definitely tell you, hey, this is kind of what I'm seeing. But remember, don't forget that our business too, 90-day cycles, right? So, a lot of times if you stop working on your database, right, then you're continue to push out your return on that, 90 days out, right? So just make sure that you understand that there is a process to it. And not only, as soon as you get a fish on, right, then you got to find them a place, so on and so forth, negotiate, then you're still 30-45 days from collecting the funds. But regardless of what's happening in the market, people are always buying and selling. Right? The buyers have to get used to, we're in the new norm, right? We're never going to go back to the threes, right? So we just have to understand, but everything's come. Huh?
Don't say never.
Well, what they're predicting at the moment,
Right.
right?
Lastly, and I'll shut my big mouth,
No.
but what I love about this graph and the story this tells is, as you can see how homes have appreciated, it used this to combat the no, you cannot, it's not timing the market, it's time in the market. So those that think, oh, I'm gonna wait and time the market, good luck with that. If you figure it out, let me know and we'll share a yacht together. I'm telling you, it's time in the market, and this tells you right here, regardless of, interest rates, you could date the rate, marry the house. The
Yeah.
time in the market is everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm done.
No, because this is what, yes, Carolyn.
Oh, no, I'm just.
Oh, okay. But at the end of the day, it all comes to motivation. People are always buying and selling. Like last thing I thought were my good friends calling me saying they were gonna sell their house. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that in the gazillion years. Right? So I'm thankful that they called me, helping them with that and working through all the stuff to do, but the motivation has hit at a critical point now. Right? So that's why we always pre-qualify. That's why we can't create the motivation, right? We got to find the motivation.
Questions we ask, the stories we share,
Yep.
Or
Yep.
family occupation. right?
Exactly. So this one is home prices monthly. Right? Home prices monthly. So,
In relation to the interest rate.
yeah, so, right, because this is the interest rate. So trends, right? Rates go up, values go down, right? Basically, this thing is just about changing affordability, right? So these are, and that's why I wanted to ask you, Cindy. So here we're still, beginning of the fourth quarter here. They hit way up there. What are we right now in our interest rates?
Let's call it high fives to low sevens.
Yeah. And then are you seeing more programs?
Mostly for first time home buyers. believe it or not.
Okay.
A lot of the other regular programs are being squeezed, the first-time homebuyer programs are being expanded.
Is that the FHA and whatnot?
Down payment assistance programs and all kinds of things.
Okay, and I have a slide for you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and then this one is days on market monthly. Days on market, so 20, right, 2020, 21, and 22, right? So we're still,
Yeah, we're technically still in a seller's market by the numbers, but we're behaving and
And right.
acting as a buyer's market, giving everything. You know, if someone wrote an offer on our listings right now, we're like, okay, we'll give you a price reduction, we'll help you buy down the rate, we'll give you a repair credit, heck, we'll fix the carpet for you before you move in. Just get this off our client's hands, right? But, you know, the home hasn't sat for 6 months. You know, it's still only 3 to 4 months, so it's not exactly like a traditional seller's market or a buyer's market the way it would be. So depending on who you ask, we have a coach that once upon a time held listings for 20 months at a time, right? In the 90s. So she would get a listing signed, okay, 24 months, payday in 22, right? So, you know, we kind of have to frame that reference for ourselves, that it's not an immediate gratification, like, hey, I'm gonna meet this client and I'm gonna put him in escrow next week. Hey, this could be a back and forth unless we price it in such a way that it just gets 30 people through the door that first day, so.
yeah.
Is this local?
No, these are all,
NAR?
these are provided by, I'm trying to think what it says. These were given to us by Keller Williams International. This is state, yeah, so state of the inventory is all based on, through November through 2022. Obviously there's some, yeah, because we don't have the 2022 time.
You guys check
brand new.
SRAR's side, and it's way less than, I don't even think it's at 90 yet. Right, so
No.
if you look at the inventory, if we were to stop selling, stop listing homes and people say, hey, we're done. Based on the current inventory, we would absorb it in less than a quarter,
Mhm.
would be out of homes to sell.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's, you know, still, I mean, our inventory is still tight. And like I said, on days on market, it depends on the area. So remember, you can be macro and then micro, right, to the area. Like the one right now in the area that I'm helping my friends out with, it's average days on market 100, right, because of the price point. But then again, same thing. Okay, what are we gonna price it at? So it'd be a little bit more aggressive. But they're in an area too where people, the buyer, there's still plenty of buyers for that particular area because nothing comes on the market. So it just all depends. So that's why, but really, you know, they talk about, again, it's a skill-based business. You know, don't really worry about it until it starts hitting 90 days or so, like, you know, the average, right? But it really tells you, what does it tell you? Get a pipeline. Get a pipeline, right?
And all
So.
work, Stephanie, that means I actually have to like make phone calls and get better at what I do and tell better stories and relate to people. That sounds like work. It sounds
I
hard.
know. This is your job to have conversations. And the more conversations you have, the more opportunities that you have, right? So it's all about, and then again, that gets you to what your why is, right? I know we talk about this every single time, but if your why is not strong enough as to why you get up in the morning, then you're not gonna make the phone calls, bottom line. Bottom line. Inventory. Whoa, what is that? All right.
You,
Oh, Christine, were you gonna say something? Go ahead.
No, I couldn't hear you for some reason. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, okay. All right, so when we go to inventory, right? Bam. Right, just not a whole lot, which we already knew that. It's not like it's any massive surprise to you. So remember too, it matters where you live. Be the true economist of choice in your market, right? In your market. Our job is to be the educator to our sphere, right? The educator to our sphere. Are any of you afraid to call your database?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Paul.
still have here.
be honest,
You have call reluctance.
Us, it's called a chicken.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what a lot of it is, it's how many times do you tell the story about what you think is gonna be on the other end of that line? Do you guys create the story before you call?
Oh, yeah. Say it again.
I just call the flipping person. How do you know? Just think of God, they are waiting for me to call them. They need my information.
Can I flip the script real quick?
Yeah.
Someone shared this morning, like, oh, call people outside of your area, India and all these places, and go get these leads. And I thought, well, you know, that's such a great point. I can call all those people, but someone's calling the people I know, right? People that live like in communities of $1 million homes, $800,000 homes, someone's calling them and it's not me. So that means, hey, they're gonna do business ultimately with that cold caller. Yeah, maybe, you know, I don't want to say they get screwed. I mean, it's still a realtor, right? We all abide by the realtor code of ethics, but it's not us who's working with them. So why would I call a complete stranger when we have like 10,000 people, or on my phone there's like supposedly 5,000 contacts, whatever at the bottom of that thing. So 5,000 people I can call versus, you know, 25,000 strangers. Hey, there's some basis of something to work with, and you work from a base of fear like I do, which is okay. It's like fear of loss. It's okay if I don't call my mom's friends and my past clients in a different industry and all the people I get to hang out with, someone else is going to call and then sell their $2 million home and whatever, and off they go. Right. So if you guys aren't calling, we're not calling our databases, somebody else is, and they're going to get that listing because they just call at the right time in that person's life and got super lucky to list a home while we're going through whatever.
Yeah.
Where they could just be talking to you, Stephanie, or any of us, and getting that same line of business with less things.
Yeah. So you really have to take, you know, the data, get some insight into it, and then take action. Remember, action, right, is the only truth. Action is the only truth. So it's all about your job, like 3 things they've said here, which is spot on. It's your job to teach the people.
Yeah, you mentioned Jason Abrams earlier. I love a quote that he says, is our industry is the only industry that's cool with other people telling our story.
Yeah.
And that is pretty profound, because in sales, if we don't tell our story, someone else will, and it probably will be our competitor, and it won't be an accurate depiction of our story. But it's up to us. And when it comes to the sphere, a lot of agents that Jamie and I work with and coach, when we ask, are you engaging your sphere? The answer is no. They say, Ben, they know what we're doing. No, they don't know what you're doing. No, they don't know what's going on. Do not assume that the people who know you, like you, love you, know what's going on in your life, and knows that you're the #1 go-to when it comes to real estate. And it's a dagger in the heart when someone in your sphere lists with your competitor. But unfortunately, in our industry, that's the motivation that gets agents to get up and engage your sphere, is when their competitor sinks their teeth into them. I don't want to see that happen in here. Let's rock.
Yep. Let's rock and roll, baby. Yeah, so, and then when you get the listing, start marketing the listings better. Again, tell the story, be repetitive, right? Because when you are marketing your listings, you're letting other sellers know how you do business. Right? You're letting other sellers know how you do business. So take advantage. If you have sales, I've coached people where it's just like, okay, you know, bring your last 90 days of business, what did you do? How'd you market? Did you do any circle? They didn't take advantage of the sales that they had, right? There should be 4 to 6 touches around each sale that you have, right? Start marketing your listings better, and then pivot your message to what is happening. The people want the truth, like Ben is just saying, okay, if we don't control the narrative, right, then other people are. And usually it's not a good one or accurate.
More accurate.
Okay, so we'll hurry and get through this. So we're done. So inventory annual. You can see, and then this is inventory monthly. You can see it just keeps oh, is it still Christmas? Right? Okay, let's see. Which one's this one? Mortgage rates annually. So 2022, you know, because here's the annual mortgage rate, right, in the purple, and then our historical average. Hold on a second, because I can't. Our historical averages in the yellow from 72 to 21, right? 7.81, right? And then our historical average from 1990 to 2021 is 5.97. It's still cheap money.
So it's still safe to say interest rates are at historic lows.
Yeah.
True or true?
True.
True.
True. But yeah, you wouldn't know that if you listened to what the media, certain podcasters, other people are talking about. You wouldn't know that.
And they're in the business of advertising, guys. They need people to play, watch in order to make their money.
They're in the business of terrifying, not clarifying.
That's really good.
I like that one.
Uh,
Yeah, go.
to take from Craig Haig from 72 Soul, we call it counter offer intelligence. We just call it counterintelligence, like the CIA, right? I mean, they're projecting an image of what the market is, and that's totally fine. We're gonna produce a counter narrative to what is being presented, and that's how you stay top of mind. That's how you look like a crazy person. But when they think of real estate, they'll think of Levette, because she's the one person that said, hey, you know what, it is a good time, and trust me, we'll get through this together. There's nothing we can't get through. And then off that client goes in that direction, right?
Yeah.
So it is being the weirdo in a stream of quote unquote normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we are still historically low, but obviously the issue is affordability. Right? So that's when you just have the heart to heart, with your clients. Remember we would say, hey, it's a good time to buy or sell. Well, it all depends. Right? Let's dig deep. Let's do the needs analysis and see if this works for you. And if it doesn't work right now, then you know what will work. And then when it gets to that point, then, or like I said, a life event happens, then it doesn't really matter. They're gonna do what they need to do. And then these are mortgage rates monthly. And then right now, mortgage applications versus mortgage rates. Right? So mortgage rates, we had this massive swing. Then all of a sudden, when the hike went, then it was just like, I love the saying that when interest rates go up, so it went up 2%, it created a 20% swing in less mortgage applications. Right? So it's crazy just what a severe swing that caused. This one is single family home starts. Right? We're still, right? This is long-term average. That came off.
These are the homes that builders have built.
Yeah, for sure. So we're still, I don't even think we'll ever catch up.
It said we need 1 million homes
Mhm.
from, well, last year we hit, I guess it said we didn't hit 1 million, but we need 1 million homes from last year to the next 18 years. So now through another 17 years of 1 million homes in order to supply the demand for generation A or alpha, whatever the kids are being called today.
Yeah. So just really have those conversations with your clients, and so they don't make a home buyer or home selling, whatever, they don't make a real estate decision solely based on interest rates.
Absolutely, yeah. You live in a payment on the interest rate.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Okay, any questions on any of that? Anything that you guys want to interject more? But I love always having these conversations with you all. Okay. Where's my, there it is.
Holy shit.
Okay. All right, so our top 10 individuals for December 2022. Woo! So top sales, Mike Cosgrove, Jordan, Galoo's Group, Felicia, Doug, David, Shahab, Ava, Judy. Yay, congratulations. Our top units, Mike Cosgrove again, Jordan, Carrie LaSalle, Chris Martinez, Manny McConnell, Sanaz, and Doug Pitts. Yay! And then our rising star, I don't know, hopefully she's on, is Felicia Gomez. So congratulations. Our high sales price, Hirsch and Jared and the Galoo's Group. And then our top commercial producers, Hirsch and Jared, Lee, and the Ray Rodriguez. There it is. Daddy Ray. Oh yeah, did we all say? Oh, that was last one.
Congratulations, Ray.
Calabasas escrow. Okay, so we always want to thank them. More and more people are using Calabasas escrow. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support, because we're here to support you in each and every way that we possibly can. So thank you. Cindy.
Okay, I wish there was a lot of exciting things to talk about in mortgage. Not that much, but there are some good things. So first and foremost, if you have any listings, if you do any open houses, you want to know about this, the $25,000 grant program that we have for first-time home buyers. It will cover your closing costs. So, it's a very generous, program. You have to be in a certain census tract, which at first sounded like, oh, get it. But the census tract is either low to mod or 50% or more, minority owned. And in LA, that's a lot of census tracts. So, so it's a very generous program. Again, if you're sitting in open house, if you have a listing, just give me the address. I'll let you know whether the property qualifies. And it's a good thing, easy to do. There's a lot of first-time homebuyer programs that are available now. Fannie Mae just threw in some wonderful new adjustments to our pricing. I love how they just keep manipulating things all over the place. Oddly, where they've given people a little bit of a break pricing wise are at the lower end of the scale, meaning they have, their credit's not so great, they're putting less money down. Those people got a little bit of a break. Where there was some takeaway is it used to be if you had a credit score of 740 or more, that was like the high point. You got the best pricing at 740. Now you have to have 760 to get the best pricing. So on the higher end, it's getting a little bit more challenging. At the next meeting, next Tuesday, I'm gonna have a class that's how to buy your first investment property. I've got a lot of really cool tidbits and good information in that one, so I hope to see all of you there.
What kind of investment property?
Whatever kind you like.
Nice.
Yes. I feel like there's something else I wanted to mention. Oh, HELOCs, I mentioned this last time, but HELOCs are definitely an area of interest. I'm not gonna pretend that the pricing is beautiful on those, because it is a consumer loan, but it's better than credit cards and it's worse than mortgages, which is where HELOCs typically are. But a lot of people just don't want to mess with their nice 3% mortgage. You can't blame them, but people need cash. So situations change all the time. I'm sure that if this carries on for much longer, people will even start doing cash out refis and things like that just because they have. But HELOCs might be the way to go. That's all I got.
Awesome.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, I think, and don't forget about our tech talks, and then also, is it this Friday? Are you starting your command parties?
2 o'clock.
Yeah, so we have 3 opportunities every single month to learn command. I mean, command is such a great way to connect with your database. So
I can do one more plug. So Monica was plugged into kwconnect.com and get her website going and all that stuff with KW. And when we were going through it, we found that they actually have like the training modules on there. So if Scott Leroy's not enough, go right to the horse's mouth and learn it right from KWRI on KW Connect, and then plug into these 3. Because the way these meetings work, it's not like, oh, I don't even have a username, please help me. No, we need to be an active participant in our own survival. So if you meet us halfway, we'll get you the rest of the way, right? But if you're gonna start down here, we're only gonna get like so few spaces in 45 minutes to an hour, right? Or if you're working with, Somyo or whoever, we can only get you so far. But if you come meet us halfway, oh my God, we will get you on paid commands, free ads, all that fun stuff. We'll absolutely crush it on the times that we get to have together. So hopefully that helps a little
When
bit.
is that?
Fridays at 2 after caravan.
Yeah, the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month. So this Friday,
Yep. Don't forget about family reunion, February 18th to the 21st. There's a few people that have already bought their tickets, so super excited about that. We'll keep you posted on all the events, and we're done. Unless Ray, do you have anything that you want to interject other than being a proud papa?
Just say that we've seen interest rates actually come down a little bit on commercial financing deals. And the cap rates right now have shot up significantly. So, we were doing 3.5 cap rate deals, really minimal return. Investors would have to work really hard at value add, turning the units, spending money to get cash flow. And now, the cap rates have gone up significantly. So it's a great time to take a class on learning how to invest in property. And honestly, it's a really good time to maybe pull together, and it's something I'm thinking of, pulling together a group, minimum investment, maybe 25 grand a piece for anybody who's interested, and get a little fund going to start investing, because we're gonna look back, you know, maybe 2 years from now, and we're gonna say, wow, I should have bought something. And every time this happens, real estate agents say that. And so we're out there selling real estate. We really should be owning real estate. And we should be talking about that with our clients, because that's just gonna put you in that much more of a position of being an advisor to them, especially when you can speak to what it's like owning real estate. So it's very early in this whole thing, but yeah, float that in your mind and come talk to me if you're interested. And, you know, I would say minimum 25K just to make it worthwhile. And we'll put a little group together and we'll start exploring what we can do about getting out there and getting some investment property. You know, awesome, awesome. So yeah, like I said, great opportunity to invest right now. That's really my thing. It's like the stock market right now, right? Like stocks are super low, real estate's low. When there's fear, that's when you gotta actually not be scared and get involved. So that's my 2 cents.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. All right, don't forget about the Super Bowl squares, and appreciate you all immensely. Have a powerful and positive day. Love you all. Mwah! Go eat some food if you haven't already. Let's see. I'm gonna be sending it.